Hey everybody, welcome to the show, and I'm glad to have you here. Today, I'm interviewing Mark Robin, the marketing director of QMX. Mark, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Brad.
Yes, this is fantastic. So, you brought some pieces to talk about. I want to get into that.
All right.
I want to talk about what's going on with the company, but first off, I want to talk about you. What do you do?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm the director of marketing at QMX.
Yes.
So, I run the social media team. So if people are online tweeting at us or looking at our Instagram, they're usually talking to me or somebody on my team. I run the events, so Toy Fair, San Diego Comic-Con. So you'll see me a lot if you come to our booth. Just the behind the scenes, working with our licensors and our partners like Sideshow to make sure that we get cool pieces like this into the hands of collectors.
Perfect.
That's my gig.
Yes. And do you collect? Are you a collector yourself? Is that what drew you to it?
Oof. Let's just say this. If you came to my house, you would either be impressed or probably think I need clinical help. It kind of depends on your own perspective of what it means to collect. I think I'd probably verge on hoarder.
Yeah.
But, I'm okay
that
with
excites
it. I
me.
made it into a career, so I at least have that excuse.
It's okay because you made it into a career.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
If I was like an accountant or something like that, then they just like, he's crazy. But no, I do collect even before I got into the industry. It's just, I love pop culture. I love collectibles. It's how I like relax at night. It's like putting together 6-scale figures. It's my ship in a bottle, making sure the cape flows just right
and posing and stuff like that.
Yeah. And whenever I'm like having a bad day and my wife's like, go put together a figure, because it does. It calms me down, just like it's a great hobby to be a part of and a great community to be a part of.
Yeah, what an angel. She knows you. She knows sometimes you need to put some
She is an
figures
angel.
together.
She definitely puts up with a lot.
And so, doing this work, you were already a collector, but has it inspired you to go in a different direction with your own personal collecting? Has it opened your eyes to some new stuff?
That's like working in the industry. I've met so many different people at other companies that I maybe hadn't been exposed to before, other countries. Japan has so many cool collectibles that you can't always get here.
Yeah.
And just people who are into different stuff and different formats. So it's been a blessing and a curse because, before I was like mostly a 1/6 guy, collecting a lot of Sideshow and a lot of Hot Toys. And now it's like, God, there's so many other companies out there that I found cool stuff and statues and maquettes and just fun things. It's been amazing, and my pocketbook is not happy about it.
There's just too much
There
good
is
stuff.
too much. People make so many amazing things, and every year at Toy Fair, every San Diego, you're just blown away by the creativity in the industry. So it's really, really fun to work in and just be a collector.
Yeah, and speaking of good stuff, do you have your holy grail piece that either you have in your collection or you've been thinking about for a long time?
Grail pieces. Some of my favorite pieces. I just got the new Hot Toys Dooku, and it's like weirdly one of my favorite Star Wars characters, mostly because I'm just a huge Christopher Lee fan.
Yes.
So I'm really, really in love with that figure right now. But I also have, I think it's a 1/3 scale Nightwing. I want to say it's from Iron Studios, but it's like as tall as this desk, and it is massive. And we just moved, and finding a place in the house for something that size has been a challenge. But I love looking at it. And then, strangely, before I came to QMX, they did a SDCC exclusive in 2016 that's Aquaman riding on Cthulhu, and that's always been one of my favorite pieces because I love the mashup of DC and Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And so I swear I had that piece and was thinking this is a kind of company I want to work for. So when you would do something this weird and this fun, that's my jam right there.
This is a dream you didn't even know you had, to see something like this.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, this kind of mashup.
That's the fun part of working in a company like this, is when somebody comes up with an idea like that, the first answer is not no, it's like, that is weird and we're gonna do it.
Yeah, anything is possible. Really. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you brought some pieces to show off
I
today. Very excited about that. You want to start with this one? This is Harry and Buckbeak.
Harry and Buckbeak. This is our Q-Fig Max. It's kind of the spiritual successor to the Harry and Hagrid piece that we did, which was also available on Sideshow. As we wanted to stay in the world, the wizarding world, and so we kind of thought, well, what's our follow-up piece going to be? And when we decide what we're going to do, a lot of the times it's kind of two factors. what hasn't been done a lot. You know, I haven't, and we didn't see a lot of Buckbeak out there, and nothing really from this scene, because we want to do things that stand out. We don't just want to kind of, you know, in our crowded shelf space. We want to do something that somebody says, wow, I've not seen that part of the movie reflected in that way. And then the other thing that we think about is what is going to really connect with people? What's going to make them feel something? And this scene is just, you know, the potential there for just to make somebody feel that freedom of flying, you know, the joy in Harry's face. It fulfills those goals, right?
It's a moment. Yeah. It's a beautiful moment. We can all relate to how he looks on his face.
I mean, just his expression. I mean, the way his hands are. I think that
I want to go to there. Basically,
right, exactly. Or it's like,
this, yes.
you know, I wish I had a Buckbeak, and this is the closest I'll ever come to having a Buckbeak. But you know, we really want to tell stories through our pieces. So when we pick a scene to, you know, replicate or emulate in a collectible, it needs to be something like this that just is really. That when somebody walks by it, and I saw this at Comic-Con when it was, you know, out in a glass case, and you see people walk by, and the expression on their face, there's like, wow, like, you know, I feel that. It hits me right here, and that's like our number one goal is to connect with people, tell them a story, and make them feel something. And I think we really succeeded.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a Q-Fig Max. What's the difference between a Q-Fig and a Q-Fig Max?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
So, you know, a Q-Fig is usually just going to be a character, right? So we have a Harry Potter Q-Fig, and he's, you know, holding his wand, and they're great pieces, but it's just usually one character by itself on a stand.
In this style you have him?
Yep, and in this style, you know, very similar art style, very similar size in terms of the scale of the character. What the difference is usually with a Q-Fig Max is it's a little bit more dioramic. You usually have other set pieces, additional characters, special effects. So obviously you're talking larger, you know, the cost goes up, but you get a much larger piece that's going to be more of a centerpiece in your collection that then you could surround with, you know, we make, you know, Hermione and Voldemort. You could kind of add it to and display them all together. But that's normally the difference. It's basically a Q-Fig that's undergone a glow up. Yeah,
a bit of a glow up. I mean, and you're setting more of a scene. I mean, that is cool. You can, you know, kind of create more of a scene. I love that idea.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, our art team is amazing at what they're capable of.
Yeah, and I mean, the water looks wet.
The
water looks wet.
That's the thing that blew me away too, is looking at how he's actually, you know, Buckbeak's claws, hoofs. I don't know the preferred nomenclature.
They're claws. They look like claws.
At least hoofs on the back, claws on the front. But he's dragging it through the water. The water's actually kind of, you know, splaying. I mean, I don't know how that could have come out any better.
Yeah.
You know, and even the coloring on Buckbeak's wings, the wind in Harry's hair. That's, you know, our sculptors can just pull off stuff that, as somebody who cannot draw, you know, a stick figure, I'm always impressed on what these people are able to do.
And I like Buckbeak smiling too. You know.
I don't think I've noticed that before.
Yeah, I just saw it. He's having a good time.
He really is. He's got a little smirk there. Nice call out.
You're making me smirk.
You looking for work?
To be a Buckbeak?
For sure.
Sure, I'll give some piggyback rides. So next up, I want to talk about this Batman Q Master. Okay, this guy right here, and he's got the whole family with him. Talk a little bit about this. Like, number one, what is a Q Master? What does that mean?
So a Q Master is, obviously, this is not in scale with our Q-Fig line. These are much larger pieces. But this is really, you know, a premium format piece for us. These are larger scale pieces that are really meant to, you know, it's going to accomplish the same goals that we have for any collectible we make, which is, again, you know, standing out, showing you a hero or a villain in a way that you've never seen them before, and also telling you a story. But when we say Q Master, it's really about the size. It's really about what we're delivering to you in terms of overall value. I mean, that's a huge piece, right? That's in 6 scale, and obviously it's not posable like a 6 scale figure is, but it's going to look good on your shelf surrounded by pieces of that size. But you know, I think when our vision for this line is, again, when I saw people walking past the cases at San Diego, and you saw the way that they really responded to Batman as a father figure, it's just not something that people see a lot on the shelves.
I have never seen something like this, and it's so full of joy.
Agreed.
You know, and I mean, it has a similar vibe to this, where it's just like you see it and you smile.
Right.
And thinking about Batman, not just as a Dark Knight, but like he's a dad.
And everybody loves the
Absolutely.
Dark Knight. I mean, we all love the Dark Knight. And if you walked through, our offices at QMX, you'd see a lot of people with collectibles from other companies that, show the Dark Knight in the way that we usually think of them. But our creative director, Hawk, told me that as he was thinking about this piece,
yes,
Hawk, yeah, that's a pretty,
absolutely.
I know.
Listen to Hawk.
I'm jealous on a daily basis. My last name is Robin, so it's not quite as cool of a bird as that guy's.
But still meant to be. Do you
guess.
have some Robin figures at home?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm a huge Nightwing guy too.
Of course,
It's not an
that
accident.
makes sense. Yeah, of course.
But when Hawk was talking about what his sort of the genesis of the idea, it was that to him, Batman was always a father figure. And that was not something that, while he would read about it in the comic books, it was not something that was ever really demonstrated in other collectibles. So it was an opportunity, and I think he nailed something that I think we all think of Batman as a father figure. He's got so many Robins and Batgirl. It's definitely a part of who he is, but it's just not a story that's being told through collectibles. And so there was an opening there, and he and his team, I just crushed it with the design, the sculpting, and painting. I think it's a really special piece that they're shipping really, really soon. So if you haven't pre-ordered it, don't sleep on this piece because it's going to go fast. And I think it's one of those pieces that the likes of which we may never see again. Well, until Hawk has his next great idea.
Sure. Yeah, no, there is a great playfulness in this, and I mean, it kind of opens up your demographic a little bit. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, it does. You're right. I saw kids looking at it. Obviously, men, women, all different types of people from walks of life. It meant something different to everybody because some people identify with Batman in terms of being a father. Other people, identify, like I identify with Dick Grayson. I saw, the Batgirl of Burnside means so much to people, and so I love that we chose that particular costume for Barbara. It's just a super special piece that I am intensely proud of.
Well, we have one special piece that I have not shown on the desk yet.
Okay.
And that is a plush Niffler.
Oh my!
Plush Niffler for everybody. Look at
this
this.
guy.
This is
The little guy. Look at this big guy.
I know, it's a big
He's
plush.
a good boy.
Absolutely. This is one of the cutest things I've seen in a long time, despite these two very cute things. So he's adorable. This guy, he wants his gold pieces. Tell me about this. How did you get into plush? This seems like kind of a left turn.
We have actually done a fair bit of plush in the past.
Okay.
We've got a line called Q Pals, and so we've made some Harry Potter plush. We actually have a really nice Hedwig the Owl plush. If you're in the market for a plush owl,
It watches me at night. Absolutely.
It's a beautiful piece, and so I think for us, we think of plush as still being collectible when it's done right. When it's a great design, the quality of it. I mean, you could tell. I mean, this guy is super soft.
Incredibly soft.
It's not just a plush piece that you're going to I don't know, hopefully not give to your dog and let him shred. It's something I think that it is a collectible piece. Obviously, this is a massive scale. We just thought it would be fun. Everybody needs a big Niffler that you can wrap your arms around. And little known fact, his pouch is functional and will actually fit the baby Nifflers we're coming out with.
Oh, yeah.
So we had him for just to display and show to people at San Diego. And I had more than one person embrace Niffler and then just basically try to sprint out of the I had to almost tackle a few people to make sure that we got him back. I think there's something pretty nice when you can take a character from a movie that you wish you could meet and wish you could give a hug, and then actually be able to do that in real life.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Harry Potter fans, I think, are going to flip out when they can actually pet this guy and see how nice he is. I think he's going to be hard to find this holiday season.
Is there anything that you want to talk about that we should?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, we've got a new line of Q-Figs that we're calling Remastered, which I'll be able to show a lot more of very soon. But the idea is we have a lot of collectors that are newer to collecting and may not have been able to get some of our earlier figures, which unfortunately are some of the prime figures, Batman, Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Harley Quinn. And they're always asking us, will you re-release these figures? And that's not something we really just want to do, just, kind of throw it back out into the marketplace or, slap a paint variant on it and say, here you go, re-release. So what we're really doing is rebuilding these figures from the ground up and just completely restructuring them so they're an entirely new piece, like adding dioramic elements, different characters, adding special effects to them. So you'll see then with like the Harley Quinn piece, which is I believe up for pre-order on Sideshow.com. It's very similar in its approach in that it's Harley Quinn and it's evocative of the original figure, but we've changed her pose, we've changed her weapon, we've just added a lot to it. So that's our newest effort, and we're gonna continue to do remastered figures. We're going to remaster Batman, Catwoman, Superman. We're gonna be taking a look at some of our early Marvel figures, giving them a new look, but we really wanna show people what we could do now, which is so different from what we could do a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you're going back to reboot the classics a little
Basically,
bit.
yeah. And we don't want to just repeat ourselves.
Yeah.
We want to kind of keep moving the bar forward. So I think it's really fun, and people will then get a chance. And even if you have the old one, the new ones look so cool. You can have them right next to each other, and it's perfect.
Well, love it. I'm looking forward to 2020 and seeing what's coming out of the pike.
As am
coming
I.
Down the pike.
As am I. I'll bring them back. How's that?
Bring it back. I would love to see
and
these.
we'll play with them.
All right, well, Mark, this is so great to have you on the show.
Awesome, it was my pleasure.
Great to meet you.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me.
and talk about these just heartwarming figures.
I know, right?
I'm
They are.
feeling
Everything's so
fantastic.
joyful, and it's hard to frown when I'm at work. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely. Well, if you are interested in checking out any of the stuff Mark's been talking about, seeing these figures, you can go right now to side.show/shopqmx, and you can check all this stuff out. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to these videos, and don't you forget to let your geek side show.
Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.